Good afternoon, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. I'm really excited about today's edition of Travel Talk. Actually, one of our newest friends, and we were talking offline a little bit about some of the things that they're doing and what's going on great at Triple Creek Ranch. I have Kristen and Molly here. They're actually the co-GMs of Triple Creek Ranch. How are you doing, ladies?
Wonderful.
Great. Thanks.
Well, perfect. This is one of those shows where I like to kind of get to know you a little bit and let our guests know a little bit about what's going on. And when I got the press release about some of the awards and some of the things going on at Triple Creek Ranch, it really piqued my interest. And I said, hey, you know what? Our guests and readers would really love to learn a little bit more about the place as well. But why don't you kind of tell our guests a little bit about each of you and maybe how you got to become co-GMs of this place?
Start?
So I started at Triple Creek. I just celebrated last week or the week before 27 years.
Wow.
I moved to Montana over 30 years ago and heard about Triple Creek and started working here as a wrangler. I took a little leave of absence from the job I was working at and had an opportunity, thought it would be great for a summer to ride horses and take people out horseback riding. And so just took a little break and did that. I hired on as part-time and seasonal, but fell in love with Triple Creek and what we get to do here. Ended up being the head wrangler for 20 years and now in general manager position for about 6 years. Assistant GM and GM for the last 6 years. So wow. Kind of just married the place. Love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yours as well, your history, your story.
Yeah, so I started as an intern, a culinary intern back in 2007 here. And I was the assistant pastry chef for a little while and assistant dining room manager. And I left to England with a guest that was a repeat guest here at the ranch. As a customer service consultant in England for a year, 14, and I left again in 2018 to try to find a man because we live in the middle of nowhere,
little rural,
and then came back in 2021 with Kristen. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So we got the wrangler side, we got the culinary side. That's a pretty cool marriage right there when it comes down to leading the place as well. And I'm sure you have a lot of great things going on. Why don't we just jump right into that? Tell our guests a little bit about Triple Creek Ranch and maybe what's going on now, and then maybe kind of what's going to be coming down the pipeline even through the winter holidays or into 2025.
So right now we're kind of in our peak summer season. Throughout the history of Triple Creek, which we're approaching 40 years that Triple Creek has been in business here. Our summer season has been, always been our busy time. From May through October now is what we kind of have an extended summer season. And so we're pretty busy. We have all the typical things, horseback riding, ATVing, that kind of thing. We have some really fun things that happen with, like we just had an artist in residence weekend where our guests come and get to watch an artist create things and visit with them. And sometimes they do little workshops where they can make their own things. You wanna add to?
Yeah, we also do like chef's tables in the kitchen. We do wine tastings. In May, we offer some of our added value options. So we do like vendor events with Chapelet Winery.
Yeah.
All sorts.
So, and that's all just in addition to all of the summer things that might be expected.
Yeah.
So.
What's the normal length of time that guests stay on property?
Roughly 5 nights.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay less, you definitely want more. But the reality is we have guests that come and stay for 2 weeks at a time. And
4 times a year.
Yeah, some of them 4 times a year.
That's great.
So it's a really fun spot. We take a lot of pride in, we call them guests, but the folks that come here, they come as guests, but they leave as family.
Yeah.
And so more than 40% of our guests return year after year, which is wonderful in this industry, almost unheard of.
Yeah.
So that's, our guests really are like family to us. We have a lot of fun. We just do our darndest to take really good care of them and see them every year, and sometimes multiple times a year.
Multiple times a year.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So what makes Triple Creek Ranch so unique? That's getting guests to come back multiple times a year, but also to have that feeling like their family.
Well, I think that starts with the ownership. Craig and Barbara Barrett are the owners of the ranch, and they've owned it since 1993. And really, it's kind of their vision and what they have given to the ranch and to the GMs in the past, and just the staff in general, to be able to give the customer service experience over anything. It's really finding ways to give that personalized service and to create wow moments for everybody coming in. I don't know. I think that's really what separates us, and our location. The location sells itself. So.
Oh, no, definitely. One of the big things that I've been hearing in a lot of the people that I've interviewed on Travel Talk has been the experiential travel and the importance of what that is, that people just don't go to destinations anymore and just plop down and they want to feel something. They want to create something and have that experience. And it sounds like you guys are fitting right into that mold of where travel is going, because you're talking about people coming back. I love the words that you're using, family, as opposed to guests or stuff like that. So that just creates everything that's going on that's in the travel component right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. So let's switch a little and get on the personal side, because I think one of the things I always like our guests is to kind of tell a little bit about some of their travel experiences that they've been to, and maybe some of the bucket list things that maybe they want to get to as well. So everybody's got different tastes in what those are, but it's really cool for our readers and listeners to kind of learn a little bit about who we're talking to. But Christian, why don't you tell me a little bit about some of your favorite travel destinations you've been to so far?
I really enjoy. A couple of years ago, one thing that we have a great advantage is we're a part of Relais and Chateau. Yes. And so we have an opportunity to travel to our international congresses. And so a couple of years ago, I attended the Congress in Venice, Italy. Wow. And so my husband and I drug him along, poor guy. And we kind of toured Italy, but we're so fortunate in that we get to visit Relais chateaus, kind of all over in North America, in other countries, and being a part of the Relais chateau group or family, we get to go to some really amazing places. And the thing is, they're all unique to where they're located. So I've really enjoyed kind of just following. Sometimes poor Molly has to. I'm kind of more. The joke here is I'm Madam Outside and Molly's Madam Inside. Kind of how we divide and conquer. Kind of our wheelhouse.
Sure.
And so a lot of times going to the big cities or just doesn't really appeal to me. And then I go and I'm like, oh, it was great. And so we really are blessed being part of the Relais Chateau.
Yes, I can imagine.
Getting to go to a lot of great places. Molly's traveled a lot more than I have. But
yeah, so Molly, tell us a little bit about some of your favorite travel destinations?
Yeah, so I would have to say my favorite travel destinations that I've been to most recently was Norway. I think that
Wow.
that country is phenomenal. Pretty much where there's mountains is where you're going to find me at. I really loved Machu Picchu. I did the Inca Trail. I think that was one of the most culturally amazing experiences to really go into the different little villages and meet the locals and things like that. Inca Terra was who I went with, and they were absolutely phenomenal. I would recommend them over and over again.
Wow.
I also love Italy as well. How can you not love Italy?
Oh, exactly.
I think Southern Utah in the United States is just, I don't know. Southern Utah is a really special place in our country. So
That's perfect. Yeah, there's a lot of great places here in the United States as well.
yeah.
But obviously international travel, we want to get out. That's, when you're in the travel and hospitality industry, you want to see the world. And so that's kind of a cool thing. Tell us a little quickly, maybe one or two of each of your bucket list travel places that you think you might want to try and hit up someday.
You go first.
I personally have always wanted to visit Ireland. I did some research maybe 25 years ago and have this kind of, it was an equine vacation company. And so I've always wanted to do that. I thought that would be that's my bucket list item. And Molly and I, one of us tries to be here all the time and the other does the international. So every other year, she did Norway last year. I did Italy the year before. I'm headed to France in a couple of months.
Yes.
So we've got
got
some great opportunities.
Yeah. Those are some great opportunities. Yeah. Molly, what about you? What are some of
the Dolomites? Definitely hiking through the Dolomites. That's where I'm headed next.
That's awesome. You're the first person that I've asked that question that has answered it that way. So
really,
okay.
Cool. Yeah. Out of our 51 episodes, you're the first person to say the Dolomites as the bucket list item. But that's great. And again, it just goes back to what piques your interest. And when we talk about experiential travel, how you're doing that at Triple Creek Ranch, but you're weaving that into your own personal lives, which makes it easy for us to transcend that there at the ranch. And obviously then the guests become family and they're telling people, because obviously family members are the kind of people that talk a little bit more than if they're just a guest. And so that's a really good thing that you are doing there. So we got a couple of minutes here. Why don't you tell me any final thoughts with Triple Creek Ranch, anything coming up that we need to be aware of? And then maybe even best ways for our readers and listeners to find Triple Creek Ranch.
Wonderful. Well, I know in the fall we do have, so I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, we do added value events throughout the fall and winter. And we have Hill Family coming in November. We do have an artist weekend coming in October, which is really great. We have 3 artists that come on property and the guests actually get the opportunity to have art lessons with them and be able to create things on their own. And then obviously the holidays, Thanksgiving, and then winter. We're really hoping for a good winter this year. Dog sledding.
Winter's a lot of fun here. We have like Molly was saying, added value. When you come and stay at Triple Creek in the wintertime, your whole ski package is included, your rentals, lift tickets. We pack your lunch, shuttle you to the ski hill. It's about a 40-minute drive, roughly. Gorgeous. You're skiing the Montana-Idaho border.
Continental Divide.
Divide. Absolutely beautiful. Lewis and Clark kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Great cross-country skiing. We have dog sledding, snowshoeing. And so that's really, the winters here are beautiful. Most folks think of Aspen and, for skiing, and that Montana has these brutal winters, but we're nestled in this beautiful valley and kind of protected. Our average temperature is 32, which means we get great snow overnight. And the days are above freezing and gorgeous. Yeah. And so we're not quite as posh. We're a little more authentic. Sometimes there's some cowboys on those ski hills. Yeah. But it's great. It's all natural, beautiful snow. Dog sledding is a huge hit. So that's a great thing for our winter season. And it's a little bit slower here. It's quiet, peaceful, great escape. great escape.
And the best way to reach us is probably through our website or directly on our phone number, which is 406-821-4600, or www.triplecreekranch.com. And our social media is just at Triple Creek Ranch. So.
Perfect. Well, ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure having both of you on the Travel Talk podcast today. I love your passion. I love your zeal. I love what you're doing. I hope one day to actually meet both of you and actually make it out there to Triple Creek Ranch. It's not, I have never been the cold snow skiing kind of guy, but you make it sound so inviting. So it does. I love the 32 degrees as the average temperature in the winter, because obviously your first thoughts are like everything's brutal in the winter up north, especially when you're in Texas. So that's appealing right there. But I want to thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for having us.
Perfect. Well, to all of our listeners and readers out there, please follow us as thehotelguide.com. Also check out triplecreekranch.com at their website and on their socials. These two great ladies are leading a cool charge of experiential travel up in Montana, and it's award-winning, so that's even better. But until next time, again, our focus is always travel and make memories. Until next time, everyone, take care, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.